I'm at week 15, which means 5 more weeks and I'm halfway through. Yay! Today I want to talk about something I learned in The Business of Being Born. It's a movie that really changed my life and how I feel about the birthing industry. And it's really what convinced me to have a home birth. I really suggest watching it, whether or not you're going to have a hospital birth or a home birth. It's a really informative movie. Anyways, I learned in it something that seems to be true, because whenever I talk to women who've actually had a birth in the hospital, it seems to align with what The Business of Being Born said. So when you go to the hospital, you're usually not dilated enough, or labor's not progressing fast enough for the hospital. So the hospital will give you Pitocin to speed up the labor, which also makes it extremely more painful. I don't know about you, but this is what happens to most women, and it would probably happen to me too. Labor is now more intense. It's more painful. So of course you're going to say, give me the epidural. I need the epidural, which is understandable. So then you get the epidural. Well, then it seems that from talking to women and from what The Business of Being Born says, it's really hard to push and to know how to push, especially if it's your first child. When you have an epidural, you can't feel anything down there, so a woman doesn't know how to push. Then the baby starts getting in distress, and the mother's also distressed because things aren't happening correctly. So then, doctor steps in, hospital steps in, and we have an emergency C-section. And thank God the hospital and the doctors were there for your emergency C-section, which really seems to have started with the spiral effect of the Pitocin. So, I'm not a big fan of that, and I don't know, anything to me that's going to make my labor more painful, it's already going to be painful, but it's going to make it more painful, seems like a bad thing, especially when, it really does seem to be a spiraling effect. But of course, make your own decisions on this. Anyways, that's my advice, and see you next week.